Okay. Hi, everyone. And
Hi.
this is not your normal Let's Have a Booba experience because we have friends.
Hello, friends. Look at all those little waiting people. Yay.
Friends who are on mute because they're polite. Uh, I can't even remember the word. I was going to say Zoomers, but wrong brand. Anyway, um, um, we have a lifetime studio episode to get to in an hour, so
Yes.
let's just carry on. Um, so we had there had been like talk of a LangTime studio relay for a long time, right? Some people thought we would do one for CopyCon. I don't know why I said that like that, but anyway. Um, um, and it, it was just like, let's just do it. Um, and
Plus,
here we are.
some of us did the LCC one and just wanted a craving for a shorter text.
Yeah, and one where it didn't involve quite so much panicking.
Mm.
Uh, it's, some of us are pretty late. Just trying to get this up. But anyway, not everyone is always working with these like transatlantic time zones.
No.
Um, so, so to unveil the original text, um, so this is what Aria's got. And then this was what I had to send her because were a few mistakes. And then I wrote this out, and in the end, there was still a mistake on it. But I decided I would leave it with this because I had, at this point, written out most of it twice. Um, uh, learn properly what all of the problems with your orthography are before you give them to someone else.
Yes.
Um, So, tipo, you did some silly science thing. You did something in 50 tao mama for one. Mama yao, tao 50 in bu ubu, si ma pizza, shan fa lao. Na sao hi a pa tu, si su su mama ai pa lao zi. Sao pan sa la ka sa pao, pa tu tu. Lao zi i ki pan sa la cao, lao ki. Ya chu ya, ti cao, se kao, ui ma. Mamãe multiple you titsao tsili, sai su pe ayo, tai su tu ayo, la chlefa ayo fu, ya etin te pe chi fois, silin sai su mamtan. Shli gaya yao tao kuni tu apanyu lua tu, shalu ta kauti, mi trafi kai pizza, ya witai chua tsuki, tse tishata, nucha nutlata. Um, uh, so this story is not directly taken from this book because that would be. But I was reading this book, A Drum in One Hand, A Soccer in the Other, by Charlotte Cote of the Nuchanu uh, uh, tribe, I think is what they call themselves.
Yeah,
Uh,
Chinese.
yeah. Um, and really, I, since working on Yatal, I've been more actively reading about the Pacific Northwest. And a lot of the stories they tell, I think, have more universal resonances than being super specific. But I did want to credit her, which is why the original text translates like this. Why are we still looking for berries? A mother and daughter were out in the mountains looking for maki berries. They see a tree with a lot of berries and stop to collect them. The mother accidentally stepped on a beehive, so bees flew out. They ran and hid until the bees went away, dropping their berries. They carried on looking for berries in the mountains. The daughter asked her mum, Mum, why are we still looking for berries? The mother replied, Be quiet, my daughter. We are bonding, and I still want berries. And yeah, they both text inspired by a story by Charlotte Cote of the New Channel community of Cheshire. And then we move on to Arias. Unless people have questions now, but it's probably faster to keep going and then have everyone ask everyone at the end.
No.
I assume that I'm supposed to read this now.
Yes.
Okay.
Or anything you wish to disclose.
Okay, so I'd first like to clarify that when I was looking through the and when I was decoding the Yatlo, 2 of the punctuation marks lined up right on top of each other, and I skipped everything in between them. Okay, I'm really sorry.
No, you're good. That's the whole point of it, is mistakes and errors. That's
It worked.
natural.
It worked out in the end. It's fine. Okay. It's been so long since I used record. Okay. Suna sarteg gyurides prenasauri. Maki sarteg dese maru armu rutres gyurides drer. Ruik maki turen rikradier daner iban kibispiskar. Maru gasekir ruduts en durer tedusrad. Rik giltir ukrein udibir. Dusisikate kradie tukninag. Rantin sarden rikatka. Dese yair. Mama, sune sarde gyurides prenasauri kaur. Marus terier. Dese anasau. Insum kribara satnampas. Marus sarde gigat prena. Resides divadu Charlotte Cotes sasak badu betai. Ad 2022 is ak asau. Ad sehasnat nuchafnus runrikat bit. Oh my god. So, okay. I only messed up a few words, it's fine.
Yay!
So we could talk about what's changed.
Yeah, so the line that I skipped was they continued looking for berries in the mountains, which made the story seem a lot more frantic. Rather than like they run away from the bees, run into the mountains, daughter gets tired, whatever. It's they get hide from the bees are still chasing. Why are we still looking for berries? But fortunately it still works, I think. And then I also, the last line about the mother still needing berries, I didn't take that as part of the mother's dialogue, so it's more like, and I guess the ending is different there, but I translated it right, which is fine. I don't think there's really anything to discuss. Oh, except I'm realizing in the Yaflo it said the mother accidentally stepped on a beehive. But here I have the mother fell over and crushed a beehive. So I think, is there something in Yaflo that means accidentally and also means slipped or fell over?
The thing with Yatlao is that it makes use of a lot of just verb compounding, where you can use verbs together, and as part of a unit, they more aspectually change the meaning of the core verb. Like the slip was more of the unvolitional aspect of the crushing than but you could interpret it either way, genuinely. Like it's not a mistranslation, it's just I chose to translate the English one way and not the other.
All right, thank you.
So next we have Miles.
Oh, that's me! Yay! So, I translated Cielu because I wanted to have a little bit of separation, and it's been a minute since I have, so kind of wanted to take a little bit of a mental break from Yatao because that has been my existence for a long while. And I shall read. Wapa niya kusa chayu mehu amu hayu fa ye iha pine itsu ku ichu uola kuhuti upi ihata sa fila itsu hayu upi wika itsu oa kang micha meku itsu ku mehu kota upi fipo macha fofi shiki fofi oa michaya kuhuti upi sa ihap onaku ang fofi ku ihaki ku kukota sungkusa fanso iksu che si shiki fuitsu fitu wapa upi shimu mehu hipo cha hi ihapine itsuku ang pumu mehu yetlo chuachum wapa poki chuachum hipo e mehoapa hayu hipu swasama mehu hafe mehu itsuku ifoku hayum ketike mehasha lu kote hayum mehoapa hayum nichifo. La keti choachum anu 2686. Ichu sheshana hayuha nua chanu hayuma chahuashi. Messed the tones up a little bit, but in essence, I kind of did my little translation. I'm trying to think of some things that could change. I translated Mackie berries to black currants to have a little more of an in-world connection there. I think I made it so like that mother was really insistent on collecting those berries. Like she was just desperate to get them. So I think I kind of made it into very like a yelly tone. As you can see, that 2022 got translated into 2686. That is because Chielu is base 9 and not base 10. It arises from how they planted crops in like 3x3 grids, and they kind of just count those in like little squares. So that's kind of the world building behind why it is base 9. Other than that, yeah, I think I.
Why is the mother pale?
What?
Why is the mother pale?
I don't remember. I think that was the cloudy aspect of it. I think it was not the cloudy fourth. I made it into the cloudy mother.
Okay.
Yeah, because I guess she was just feeling sick after those little. I don't know. See, that'll do it.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing where I was like, I wonder what's happening. Okay.
But also, they're like scant adjectives, so like nearly every adjective phrase in here is a relative clause.
So that's why it got so much longer as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, so this is actually what.
This is what James got.
Yeah.
So,
which is it's lovely and beautiful, but also you can see how long your orthography is relative to the pronunciation as well.
yes.
But I think it's you did a much better job than I did.
It's usually just like my eye. That is like I can fully tell you what happened. Like I hold my iPad vertically and it's right, just like until like there was like infinite little bit, and I had to like I can see it in like the bottom right to kind of that little like that is like a number. That's a number 2 because I had to like come up with that glyph for numerals, but most glyphs are just like how do I phrase it? Initial letters of the number names. I digress.
Okay. So, Jayadang, I think, from Magpie.
Yeah. Hello. This was my translation. Jarang. Jorage bang chaseka rie maya hibi kal that umilai ingo in chavai. Pert tujasta abe umi waim derada umi palgar lina waim. Melda simlaim kai mumi. Tinge maya li halak da chike. Has ki ike palga. Data suggest li ige hidras. To legas yes ike. Visor they just imumi li tingam why ye im ngorka kai urges. Kimechaseko why my him some bucket jorogero da umi like Sane mai why chaseko him son lemo. Dero da used to why just out of bag. Is the my million ka umi like go sabit pauka. Him udag im udamalga ka out of bag ka salut kote. Sante waim alika tora ka sesana nadako pauka. Jiki by jikere nyayang limai in Jacknich and it. It's definitely a mistake there. Nyayang should not be a possible word. Whatever. The rest of it. So the English is, it starts out similar and kind of goes off the rails. At the beginning, going for pale and Chielu, it could be, I think pale, difficult, or smoke, and I had no idea which one it was supposed to be, and it seemed very, very unconnected to the rest. I guess I picked the right one, but
yeah, let's go, Jay. Let's go.
I was confused what that was doing there. And beginning, I rephrased a few things a bit. I spent a while reading about like different types of fruit that could grow in the area, and then to fix something to replace blackberries with, and then just ended up saying blackberries.
I do.
And blackberries are actually the original fruit that Charlotte Cote talks about a lot. The mountain blackberries.
It's not blackberries specifically, like one word, the compound word. It's berries that are black, 2 words. But yeah. So then some things got a little weird. The mother replied to the girl, "You don't talk, we make a knot for the ancestors." I don't know. No, I assume this was some ceremonial thing, but you can sort of see how I got to that.
Yeah, you see how you got to that.
And then the last paragraph is very messy. So you'll notice that the numbers flipped.
Correct.
Okay. Apparently, Chelu writes them from the smallest to largest, which is something I have thought about doing in a lot of languages, and I apparently missed to do that. And also, I realized like a couple days after I sent it on that I completely forgot that it was base 9 and didn't correct for that. So
you're welcome.
I hate the base 9. Why do you have an odd base? That's terrible.
This is also the point where the number gets confused. So it's no longer 8. It's that there's just this number of people in the village.
Yeah. I also lost the name was supposed to be Charlotte.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The reason behind that was because when we did the relay for the LCC, we changed the names too. So I'm like, I'm going to change these names. Woohoo! Let's go. And now it's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, but I glossed it. I changed the names too, but I glossed it as Charlotte put it.
I know. I just put like a name.
Okay. Yeah, it just said a name, so I adapted it to Giant Dog phonology, and Similar.
It's fine. No, this relay really was like me seeing how badly my attempt at citation could be mistranslated as things go further and further.
Now I want to see how safe this translation is. I'm excited.
Okay,
I feel
That
so
was
vanilla. If you just
Graham. Still not sure which one of those you prefer, but anyway.
Yeah, and so here's where the citation gets really weird. This is my tendency to if I can't understand some part of the text, I fudge it to make the story make more sense. And so, you know, it looked to me like, oh, there's this lovely story of the girl and her mother gathering berries, and then just when it's getting exciting, it cuts off and we hear random biographical or random facts about some people and places we've never heard of. So I pulled those to the top and made that like an introduction, like here's this story, and then tried to give it a satisfying ending, which is why there's extra stuff at the end. Tried to, it seemed like it was giving some moral about respecting your ancestors. So you know, now it's the story about the mythological hero Salut Kote, that this author has transformed into a mythological hero, and now this is the story about how she learned to respect her ancestors. So there we go. And yeah, the berries became blueberries because they were just like generic dark berries. So I thought, in this story, they would probably be specific, not just random dark berries. And yeah, anything else happening here? I love how the ancestors were not part of the original text, and they came in because the story is adapted from, became the story is a descendant of, and then the family bond thing turned into ancestors as well. Like the bonding turned into an ancestor bond.
There were some good traps in this text. It's good.
Yeah. And also, I ended up just dropping the word pale. I couldn't make sense of what it was, so it's just gone.
I wonder why.
I guess I should read it, shouldn't I?
Let's do it.
Henitsanis bas henasanda moijo ne sesanat zanivetio nechanutio. Devitsan ehujo makalahoch ne salut kote fanda. Ev esh movna na fen wotu hodalinda. Dilavna anedaz dembi nu banzain reis noftes levleg. Veid vekuji jauzulevleg ster, ajov nofte. Responio rosne rekio marzinijni shoz, jreg savavaner ron murug. Bechre roheya maushuskak, gowol mizulevlegzas vus nofte kuvi. Henvamnui, twarnam, nofte zulevleg reinzo. Henzivnanui, kavushkais lahalai, divi schnofte, bas manal snel hodalinda. Go nofte vai avenero zulevleg juliavri e shach ster zaikasi. Uvi schnofte, movna nu tabra kehu zinijai, go skovna hodalinai.
I don't know how much the silent clapping is going to show up in the recording. No, I think that's yeah, no, it's very cool. And this is really, some people would see it as radically changing the text from what you got. Some people would see it as the point of the relay. And I think both are important. Tethers.
Hi. Yeah, Stephen McClure has some fun quirks to to deal with when translating out of it. Also, as you can see, Campirno has some pretty restricted phonotactics and phonology. So those proper names, they all got a little scrambled. But here it goes. Ndak punun nawamang katiram tiranat tanupa ruk tityanutya. Ramba tinawa tarut kuti tammang mewak ngarngawe nupa timitmbi. Upambam nutiramba nuatimama ngewa wir. Timama kir nanawa kir ri ruk piumang nuatiriki rakitamut. Tam kirra mutaumang kung or takrakitamut kunanamu ritiriki. Upurrat timama wir kuririmat kirra krundi tinik ngiraumang. Katiwa tirinikak ngirapak tak kunggung nirimang. Kwangur harut kuti mama wir. Tinakawa tirinik ngira kutak tiwakira pupurrat tiraki tamutik titiki. Tarut katu kangam riti mama wir. Indara tiki raki tamut nuamin. Timama wir kangam rikir. Kamik tiwi. Tam nik indara riti mama ngewa nara katiriki raki tamut. Rintiwa kirak titiki raki tamut. Tapik ta. Taktiraki pamranuk tarut katu. Tinawa tinik ngira ku tinawa mama ngewa. Thank you.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I guess first, it doesn't really matter if they're blueberries or blackberries because Campirno only has one color word, hamut, that covers basically all dark colors. So like dark blues, blacks, purples. And I translated them as blueberries. Also, Sivmikor has, it's like these little, it assigns like these particles that it can assign roles to, right, Graham? So it's like, here's the character, and then here's that particle, and then you can just use that particle later in the story to refer back to that character, which Campirno doesn't have. And so that's how you get these proper names showing up a lot. Also, I guess the main character became Charlotte Coty.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
just
that was-
realized that now.
Yeah.
So in the Stevie Core, the mother and the daughter were learning the story about Charlotte Coty, but when I translated it, she became the mythological character. So that was fun. I guess there was a part of me that was like, oh, I feel really confident about this Steve McCord translation. I hope it's not just boring and I did it perfectly, but that clearly didn't happen.
Graham's actually the one who changes the role of Charlotte Cote.
Okay.
Yeah, it sort of came from lining up because the version I got had like the story of Salut Cote's ancestor. It was Salut Cote's ancestor story.
Mm-hmm.
I interpreted that as the story of Salut Cote's ancestor, which tied.
Okay.
Since in the story it kind of ended with this thing about the bonding with the ancestor. I'm like, oh, it's a story about Salut Cote learning about her ancestors.
Oh, so I
So,
did
yeah.
get that right. Okay.
That was my fault that happened.
Well, I appreciate that. Who's next?
Next is Horegonom from Keras.
Right. So, yeah, I will attempt to read this first. Kayong arataga teme. Te egeri na tirinata ring ni chon. Odohgish tegeri isataga daruda godige. Khatla isikipe jishon gobon isadlara jidakin gain. Yidbayi ropa na zin gobon sin. Somotloami guamasin na hidlin giajan na tsamera giajan guamo. Polish itani sit yapopoga dan giajan guamo sek et liquid idalian sit sama. Sodogi guamasin gen gizin ihigya si. Shich iwaia gizit isochomit darodege godige ze romagasin semi perquit beken gezeren seti riquet ojlobe sid giaja guamo samine sit darod godi guamagasin neten atsama ya giaja guamo. So yori guamasin disrotme dan samira giajan guamo yeguiarde ya na zein gobon yahin. Geum. Tiani hosh arat samira sid giajan guamo. Ke samira sitri daroda godige tegeri ihatagad gizera ze tegeri isataga zige gomo. There we go. A few stumbles, but terrible on the whole. So the first thing, so I think on the whole, the translation went fairly well. There was a couple of things I think, well, one thing I definitely got wrong where it was basically a coin flip as to how I was going to translate this, which was in the first paragraph where I say that this mythical, this is a mythical figure, Darod Godi, lived there long ago, because I think it was ambiguous to me whether the Campiengo text was like over there, like behind over there, like behind that hill far away, or whether it was in the past, because I think the word for that in Campiengo can mean both, and I was basically just, well, I'll flip a coin and see which one is right. And then I can't remember where did I get strong from? Was that right? I can't remember the whole translation from Tethys.
We can just pop back and see. Great person, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that might also have been ambiguous, but yeah. But I think my reasoning was probably I'll go for over there because presumably if you introduce which place the story is about, you're not there. I don't know. Like I say, it was kind of a coin flip. And then orchard was like I suppose a little bit of a creative license in the translation, because I think in Campingo it was just a forest of fruit or something like that, which is again how I translated it into Jueregonon, because I don't think they would have orchards. So it was just a fruit forest effectively. And then I know umdanad about giving a particular fruit species, but in the end just again went literally as blue fruit. And then one thing I did notice though is that it seemed inconsistent that we had two different characters, and one seemed to get swapped out immediately. like with no kind of warning for the other. So I think in the campaigning text there was a character called so Salud Gote or something, right? And then there was somebody called Sarud Katu. Is that right? If we go back. Tarut, yeah. So Tarut Kuti and Tarut Katu. Tarut Kuti got swapped out for Tarut Katu halfway through. And I kind of reasoned that there was no, like I say, there was no transition whatsoever. So I kind of thought that was probably a mistake. I don't actually know what's going on there, whether it was a mistake or yeah.
Definitely.
But so I just kind of corrected what I thought was a mistake, which kept things on track, I think. And then I suppose the other thing is, so obviously the campaigning we got from Salut to Tarut because there are no fricatives in campaigning. And the reason I kind of went with the retroflexes in Jueregono is that I believe in campaigning the so Jueregono has dentals and retroflexes. And so my reasoning was that I will do what kind of happens in Indian English, right? Is that you get the alveolars being mapped onto the retroflexes because they're both apical. So I rather than, so that was the reason for the retroflexes rather than the than using the dentals, which would have just been the undotted T's and D's. And then I decided to convert the geminates into long vowels because I was like, well, let's preserve the mora in those syllables. So yeah, I think that's probably about it then. All I have to say on that.
Okay. Was there anything I don't know. I didn't think that the naming of the fruit was going to be particularly difficult, but it's interesting to see where it went. And now we have the most unplanned section of this, I would say, which is how we should like.
Yeah. Well, I can talk about it first and then play it. I have the video that I can play on my computer and share screen and audio. I don't remember how to do that on here, but I can talk about it first. So I had to get rid of all the names because I had no way of dealing with them, especially not long ones. So I was just like, I'm just gonna not do that. And fortunately, I don't have to in Steffi. I don't have to repeat names. I can assign a pronoun to anything and then just use that pronoun. There were a few things, so I didn't understand the strong part of the strong person, so I just got rid of it. So the beginning sort of became an introduction, and the bit at the end seemed to match. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on, so I sort of just made it like a matching coda essentially, because I wanted this to have a musical structure as well as like a narrative one. I figured, I think I get the general idea. I'll just put it as a bookend. Yeah. Oh, I figured that fruit forest was probably orchard, but I didn't know why there would be like a bunch of bees in the middle of an orchard, so I just changed it to forest. I also had to simplify some things because even with just this length, it turns out to be almost 7 minutes long, so I didn't want it to be too much. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, I misunderstood the for some reason I thought it was saying that it was here and not there. And the wherever would have been there was I had to take out anyway because of getting rid of proper nouns. So I just figured I guess it's here. I don't know. So now it is moved also. So okay, how do I do this? How do I share screen?
So you probably want to go to that little
I
arrow.
think I might need to say present something else.
Or I can send you the link because it's on YouTube also if that would be
I
easier.
stop presenting, can you share now? If you go to present.
Where is that?
The square with the
present
arrow.
Now. Got it. Got it. Okay, it doesn't allow me to select the window I already have open. So that's weird. It's either this or entire screen. I guess I could do entire screen.
Okay.
I need to. Sorry, it's asking me to do permissions and stuff now.
It's always exciting. Let's have a boom burst.
Yeah. There's never a dull moment. There's never an organization.
Okay, this might not work because it's telling me I might need to quit Firefox.
We can always put it as a link.
Send me the link and I will.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Okay. 1 second.
Slab first life. That's what I say.
I should probably have gotten the link available first. Why can't I find it?
This is where in editing you can put in a few moments later.
Ooh, yeah, to kill the Stalins.
Okay, I sent it on Discord.
Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So share. Okay. Good.
Yeah, well, hopefully the audio.
Okay. Let's
We'll
see if the sound. Amazing.
Oh, thank you. Towards the beginning, I noticed another thing I had accidentally changed, but I forgot what it was, so I shouldn't have brought it up. Yes.
And I hope by the time that we upload the recording, there'll be somewhere where we can watch again without having to the rest of us and other kinds of stuff that people probably aren't going to want to listen to again.
Yeah, I can post the link to that. I realized it was the knocking down the beehive. I think I had interpreted something as being a causative, so causing that to fall rather than the mother falling and breaking it. Which so yeah.
Et voila. I realized reading the first text that my Yatlao pronunciation has got a lot worse over time. And I've started unrounding the U's, probably because I have been thinking so much about Pankashku. Anyway, I don't know. I probably don't need to read it out.
You want me to read it?
I mean, you can do it if you want.
I do want to, because I do want to. So, yeah. Suasa kau mia tiaku fulu, you matin sifre kudai tuku. La yusaka, luapo tani tuofu ulu, plansu, pitu, tunai lama. Yana chanfin, si ulu mama, yan sifi, launu. Klasi si ishin, chanfin, si lu sao ngồi siêu phù khao ngồi sao su su suy matin pensant la lao nu ngồi sao lao si yu la fu cha sa passa la ai passant si lu sa pao lao si o ai lao nu sifre simples yu ti cao si lu pen tu lao ti cao tu su chen se yu shan fe si lu pen tu lu yan ti a ku lu pen ganhai yu shan fe si lu Calculan po si ficu pitu nu pitu nu sunai tia kunu to fu. Oh god, it has been a minute.
Thank you, Miles. Like it was interesting.
Yeah.
That
For
wasn't-
not having seen it, I think I did pretty good. I sight read this.
Yeah. So like just for some more general observations of how this text is different from the original. I know people say that all of these relay texts end up becoming like origin stories. This I just like decided to go the whole way and bust out something we created for the last relay Miles and me did, which is the Tlaseca Miatia Kufulu, which is when people were salmon, which is Once Upon a Time. I thought it was quite a full circle moment.
It was a full circle moment.
Yeah. And I didn't think that this like the original story doesn't really have anyone properly trying to narrate the story, does it? No. So this was new. And
The bush now.
what?
A blueberry bush.
Yeah. Well, the maqui berries, in the original, are like a Chilean kind of berry that grows on trees.
Suggest.
Yeah. Whereas I'm not sure how where the bees would make hives in like. I didn't actually bother to check this. My understanding is that blueberries grow nearer to the ground, right?
Correct.
Bees can make hives anywhere. There are plenty of burrowing bees too.
Ooh, come on, burrowing bees.
Stunning.
Hard to knock one of those down though.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool thing was I made 2 words for beehive. One being like a natural hive, which was a honey cloud. And the other one being a man-made kind of apiary hive thing. Not sure what the proper word is, but anyway. And
In mine, the beehive was just the bee's home because I
yes,
want to come up with another word for it.
I mean, I don't know how you would musically find something to refer to as a beehive.
Yeah.
I
What's
invented
LangTime
this
Studio?
many days thing. Yeah. If anyone has anything left to say it now, and then we can all go watch David and Jesse.
And Mateus.
I'm Mateus.
Taste. Oh my god, Mateus!
Oh yeah.
They're an
Sorry.
hour in.
I love you, David and Jesse.
But also, this was our first like communal booba. We did
Yes.
it.
And we've thought about inviting people to be on as well. So if
Yeah.
anyone has things they'd be interested to talk about, then let us know. And we will make a space for our community.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. The queerest conlang show that I'm currently aware of.
Woo! Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you. This was fun.
Yay!
Yeah,
Thanks for organizing everything.
you're welcome. Okay. Bye.
Let's go eat some licorice. Have a nice evening, guys.
Bye.
Bye.